anchor bolts, rods, and base plates. Topic number 11, anchor bolts, rods, and base plates. Reference IR 17-11, identification, sampling, and testing of threaded steel anchor bolts and anchor rods. Be sure to encourage the general contractor and the subcontractor to buy longer rods than needed, as it is easier to cut off the long rods protruding above the base plate than to fix short rods. Generally, the top of footing is at least 12 inches below grade, so there is no need to cut off the longer rods. In terms of extending short rod, chipping out top of footing and extend the rod with a matching coupler may be the way to go. Well, the extension requires NDT, which is nearly impossible to do on a rounded rod. The weld may also damage the threads. In repairing bent rod, it is tempting to simply bend it straight with or without heat. However, it is very difficult to bend the rod straight, and the rod is likely to be damaged during the straightening process. Please consult with the SEOR when the rod is short or bent for direction. Continuing with topic 11, anchor bolts, rods, and base plates. This slide shows an oversized hole at the base plate, which is allowed by AISC. However, at base plates of seismic force resisting system, anchors are often used to resist uplift, while shear lugs, rebars, bars with headed studs, welded below the base plates, provide shear resistance. Oversized holes, then, will need plate washer to restore uplift resistance. Continuing with topic 11, anchor bolts, rods, and base plates. This slide presents some of the items often associated with base plates. Shear lugs. If shear lugs are required, be sure footing blockouts are provided per the approved drawings. And make sure there is a way to clean the blockouts and protect them from debris prior to grouting. Grouting. Grout material and height should be per the approved drawings. Grout holes should be provided on large base plates to facilitate proper grouting. Forms of grout should be tight without excessive leaks. Oversized holes for bolts. This item was already discussed on the previous slide. Base plates at special concentric brace frame. This item will be covered on the next slide. Fit up. Fit up issues associated with base plates were already discussed on previous slides. Continuing with topic number 11, anchor bolts, rods, and base plates. Special concentric brace frame is unique in that the design will function properly if the hinge line is unobstructed for a minimum distance of 2 times the thickness of the gusset. This clearance requirement is illustrated on this slide. It will be advantageous to have the erector mark the yield lines on the gussets prior to welding the braces to the gusset. This will ensure that the required clearance is provided and will provide a mean to confirm weld lengths. Project inspector must confirm brace to gusset welds are of the correct size and length. PI should walk the site and double-check CWI on this prior to closing the SCBF behind the walls. On one project, only 3 of the 4 welds between the HSS brace and the gusset was placed. Undersized weld with undercuts were found on another project when the special concentric brace frames were already partially covered by both interior and exterior walls. We need to learn from these observations and make sure construction is per the approved plans. The topics discussed in the steel section is again summarized on this slide. Thank you for your time and participation in this presentation. Also, thank you for your efforts in building safe, accessible schools. Remember to always request clarifications on drawings and field conditions with your architect of record and engineer of record first. If you have additional questions, and if the architect and engineer are not able to provide a good response to your question, then you can elevate the question to DSA. Once again, thank you for being a DSA certified inspector. I hope to see you in the field soon.